Just take a moment and get settled, get comfortable. We want to really arrive in this space. And then whenever you're ready, we'll begin by closing the eyes. Just start to take some really deep breaths. Nice and slow, in and out through your nose. And try to let your entire body soften. Before we dive in, I want to lead you through a really simple breathing exercise. So with your eyes closed, take your left hand on top of your heart, and then your right hand onto your belly. Now, we're going to try to control the motion of your hands by controlling your breath. So as you inhale, try to make the hand on your belly rise first, followed by the hand on your heart. And then try to hold the breath at the top. And then as you exhale, the hand on your heart falls first, followed by your belly. And then try to hold the breath at the bottom. So we inhale, belly, and then heart, holding at the top. And then exhale, heart and belly, holding at the bottom. We'll go through this cycle a few times. Notice if it's a little bit difficult, that's okay. Most of us struggle with our breath. We breathe really shallow up into our chest, especially during times of anxiety or fear, which I know a lot of us are feeling right now. So I recommend just trying to take the effort out of the breath and see if you can allow it to flow through you with very little input from you. So as you inhale, the breath fills you up. And then again, as you exhale, try to let your body soften. Inhaling belly, and then chest. Exhaling chest, and then your belly. Try to let your body become really heavy while you're here. So you start to feel completely relaxed. Start to feel settled into your space. Because for our time here, you get to put the entire world on pause. You have nothing to do, nothing to think about, nothing to worry about. Your only responsibility is just to be. Especially at a time like this, to find gratitude for your breath, for the fact that we're here in this moment. We'll do just a couple more rounds of that breath. Nice and slow. And remember, there's no right or wrong. Try to slow down your inhales. Slow down the exhale. For our last couple of breaths, I want you to try to breathe in even deeper by trying to access not just the front of your belly, but also the sides of your ribs. Try to feel the breath wrap all the way around to your spine. So everything inflates like a balloon as you inhale. And then everything relaxes as you exhale. We'll take one last deep breath, the deepest breath of your entire morning. Let yourself fill up completely. And then completely relax. And then let your arms fall by your sides. If you want to keep them there on your hand and your belly, feel free. Keeping your eyes closed, try to keep the breath nice and deep and slow. We're going to start to dive in to a little bit more of our meditation now. So really let yourself sink down into the ground wherever you are, completely relaxed. So this right here, what you're doing is already meditating. Eventually, our goal is to start to quiet down the mind. But as we begin, as we're newer to the practice, it'll be very common for you to have a ton of different thoughts going on in your mind. So the purpose of meditation is for us to practice on reining that in, on catching our thoughts, and stopping the train of thought before it gets ahead of us. So for now, I want you to continue focusing on your breath. A nice slow inhale. And a long exhale out. And notice where your mind is jumping around to. Every time you catch yourself starting to think, just gently redirecting your mind back to this present moment. And like I said, there's no right or wrong. Meditation is simply about becoming aware of our mind, reclaiming control of our thoughts. We always have the power to choose our thoughts. It might be helpful to think about your brain as a machine, the hardware, and then our thoughts are the software, the programs that we choose to run. And our minds can get very attached to its old habits, its old programs. But usually our thoughts aren't even ours. They're worries and fears given to us by others when we were young and even now. So I want you to recognize that you are not your thoughts. I like to use the analogy of a sky. You are the sky, and your thoughts are just clouds floating through. So you can acknowledge the thought and notice it, and then release it and choose instead just to watch it float by, leaving you with just clear blue sky. Try to notice where in your body the breath is falling right now. And if you can, try to deepen it a little bit more. Again, returning to not just the front of your belly, but the sides and the back. Everything inflating as you inhale. And then everything relaxing as you exhale. It's totally normal, again, for your brain to start jumping around. Just try to redirect it, bring it back to your breath, back to this moment. And I want you to feel how in this moment, everything is okay. You are here, you are in your body. Right now, I know a lot of us feel really out of control, but it's also important to remember that we can never control what happens to us, that we never know what's coming tomorrow or even the next moment. But we can control how we react. We have full control over your own mind. And in this moment, everything is okay. You get to build a sanctuary in your own mind, a fortress of peace, where no fear is allowed. So I want you to start to notice your body. And just notice if there's anywhere that you can relax by bringing your attention to that space. Can you soften your forehead? Can you soften your jaw? Maybe your shoulders. Can you breathe a little bit deeper? Check in with yourself and ask yourself how you're feeling without any judgment. Just lovingly asking the same way you would to your own child, asking how you are. All of your feelings are valid. If you feel anxious, if you woke up feeling a little bit tired, or maybe you're already feeling really energized. Just start to become aware of how that emotion feels. And if it's one of the ones that do not make you feel good, try to give yourself permission to let go of the thoughts that are causing that feeling. Try to let your entire body sink down heavier. And let all of the tension melt away down towards the ground. Notice if you're fighting or resisting, just allowing yourself to be, to turn off. And then again, lovingly remind yourself that right now, all you have to do is relax. Tune into your body a little bit deeper. And again, notice where that breath is falling. Bring it back to your body. Back a little bit deeper, all the way down your spine. Maybe you can breathe all the way to your tailbone. And notice how you can start to feel a little bit more powerful with every single breath. So we've taken the time to ask how you're feeling today. But that's just the way you woke up. In every moment, and especially this one, we have the power to choose to redirect. So I want you to ask yourself what it would look like to show up today as your best self. Even if today just involves being at home by yourself. Can you picture yourself with confidence, feeling creative and vibrant and energized? Try to call that energy into yourself. Try to picture yourself going about the rest of your day as the best version of you. Without any fears, without the self-doubt or the self-hatred or any of the things that drag us down in our own minds. Because really, at any time, the only thing standing in your way is yourself and your thoughts. Especially fear. It's really hard to feel powerful or optimistic when fear is leading the way, when it's in charge. It's really the most unhelpful emotion right now. So choose to let it go. Remembering you do have more control than you think. Because you get to decide if your mind is a sanctuary or not. So let's make sure it is. Choosing to trust that even though we don't know what comes next, we trust ourselves to do the right thing. We trust in our own strength, in our ability to roll with the waves. Because I promise you, you have gone through so many challenges already. This is just another chapter, and we are always the co-writers of our own fate. So you get to be the hero in your own life, choosing to stay positive, choosing to stay at peace, being the eye of the tornado. So that no matter what happens, you know you're going to be okay. Because that's the truth. Now, for our last few minutes, I'm going to stay quiet. And I just want you to breathe as deeply as you can. Just allow yourself to be in this moment, wherever your thoughts go. And every time you catch your mind, just try to lovingly release the train of thought. And just return back to rest. Take just a couple of last deep breaths here. As you breathe in, try to imagine your entire body filling up with light. See if you can straighten your spine, breathing in just a little bit deeper. Filling up with energy, and whatever it is that you need today. Remember that you can always return back to this space, back to this sense of peace. We can meditate when we're doing the dishes or walking the dog. Really, it's just the practice of stopping and tuning in to how we're reacting, to which path our minds are traveling down. And then lovingly, again, redirecting ourselves back to the light, away from fear, away from negativity, choosing to trust, trusting ourselves and everything around us, even when we don't know what's coming, and that's always. We can always control the peace in our own minds. So I want you just to start to gently wake the body back up. You can wiggle your fingers or your toes. Maybe take a nice good morning stretch, reaching the arms overhead. If you want to stay here, please be my guest. Otherwise, if you're ready, we'll open the eyes back up. Just start to breathe in a little bit deeper. Maybe add some more movement back. Thank you all so much for joining me. I want you to remember that you are never alone. We're all connected. We're all in this. You just have to remember to turn back to the light. Thank you. Namaste.